Good morning. I have a story I'd like to read to you. So come over here and sit right down, 'cause I have a story I'd like to read to you. Good morning to Mrs. Knight's Reading Corner. Today's book is The First Morning. Listen carefully. Forgot to tell you. The book was written by Brenda Parkes and illustrated by Mitch Vane. A very long time ago, there was no sunlight in the world. It was hard for the animals to see anything at all. They fell into holes. They tripped over rocks. They crashed into each other. One day, Lion called a meeting. "We must have light," he said. When there is a thunderstorm, a great light splits the sky. Who will go and get some of that light?" Mouse stepped forward. "I am only small, but I'll try," she said. And we will help you," said Spider and Fly. The three small creatures worked out a plan. First of all, Spider spun a huge web that reached up into the clouds. Then Mouse and Fly climbed up the web. Mouse nibbled a small hole in the sky, and they all crawled through it to the other side. The small creatures were amazed to find a land on the other side. And there, staring at them, was the Sky King. "What do you want here?" boomed the king. "Please," said Mouse, bowing low, "we want to take some light back to Earth." "It's dark down there," said Spider, "and we all keep bumping into each other," said Fly. At first, the king did not reply. Then he said, "I must ask my people." But the king and his people did not want to share the light. Let's give those creatures a task to do before we give them light," said one of the sky people. "But make it too hard for them," said another. "I have a plan," said the king. And he called for the mouse and said, "We need grass to build our houses. If you cut enough grass for 100 houses by tomorrow morning, we will give you light." No one knew that Fly was listening to all this. Fly was listening. When Fly told Mouse and Spider what he had overheard, they were furious. "They have all this light and don't want to share it," said Spider. "Now we must think of a cunning plan," said Mouse. They decided that Spider will climb back down her web and ask the grasshoppers for help. That night, all the grasshoppers climbed up through the hole into the sky. They cut enough grass to build hundreds of houses. Then they hurried back down to earth. The next morning, when the Sky King and his people saw all the grass had been cut, they were astonished. Ooh, wow! But they still did not want to share that light. "I will set another task," said the king. The king took the three friends into a huge room filled with different kinds of grain. Do you know what grain is? Think about it. "Sort all this grain into separate piles of corn and wheat and rice by the morning. Then I will give you light." The king left, locking the door behind him. Fly flew out through a tiny hole in the wall and climbed down the web to earth. There he asked his friends, the ants, to come and help. They sorted and sorted all night long, and in the morning there were separate piles of corn and wheat and rice to show the king. The king could not believe his eyes. He began to think that he should give light with such clever creatures. But he decided to set one final task. They said one task. Now he's giving them 3 tasks. Is that fair? They will have to choose between these 2 boxes, he told his people. The yellow box holds darkness, and the red box holds light. No one knew that Fly was listening to them all the time. There goes Fly, always listening. Fly hurried back to Mouse and told her which box to choose. When Mouse stood before the Sky King and his people, she pretended to think for a moment. Then she pointed to the red box. "I choose this one," said Mouse, and she snatched the box and slid down quickly to earth. But on earth, all the animals gathered around. It was still dark. "Open the box!" they all cried. "Open the box!" Ever so slowly, Mouse lifted the lid. A large bird stared back at her. "This is not light," roared King. "It is only a bird." Mouse hung her head in shame. We didn't do it. She and her small friends had been tricked after all. But none of the animals knew that the bird was a rooster. Do you guys know what a rooster is? Do you guys know what a rooster does? Let's find out. Suddenly, the rooster jumped up. "Cock-a-doodle-doo! Cock-a-doodle-doo! Cock-a-doodle-doo!" She crowed again and again. "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" He crowed for the 3rd time, and a golden light flooded the earth. The rooster had called up the sun and brought the first morning. And from that day to this, roosters call up the sun every day. Here goes a rooster, if you've never seen one before. Cock-a-doodle-doo! This ends the reading of the first morning. See what the sun means to people? See what the sun means to us? Because if we didn't have the sun, we won't be here. And it will just be a cold, hard rock, the earth. If you like my story, send me some pictures and a little writing about what you remembered about the story. Thank you. This is Ms. Knight's Corner, signing off. Bye.